All right, it's 6 o'clock. Bob, you want to give us a call to order? We'll need to get you to unmute, Bob.
Unmute. Lower left-hand corner of the screen.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we'll call the Jamestown Tree Board meeting to order. I guess we'll dispense with the reading of the minutes since I didn't even know this board existed until recently. So we don't have any minutes. So with that, I guess we'll move, Matt, to the agenda that we sent out, which is a request from Pennyburn.
Sure. And I'll start this off and then we'll turn it over to the applicant who is joining us. But just a little bit of background information. The tree board doesn't meet very often. There are certain times when the tree board does meet, and I did send that out to you. But essentially, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee does serve in that capacity when it's necessary. And the board has the authority to issue waivers, which may allow a reduction in landscape buffer yards, or they can waive that requirement altogether for tree conservation areas, those types of things, or otherwise make exceptions which meet the cause and intent of the ordinance. And Alex Doyes, who's with us this evening on behalf of Pennyburn, has requested a modification of their landscaping plan under that section. And they wish to remove approximately 5 trees and 47 shrubs on their approved landscaping plan, and then relocate those 5 trees and approximately 25 to 30 shrubs to the rear of the building upon the completion of the project, which will allow room for a permanent decorative fence to be installed. So that's a net reduction of about 17 to 22 shrubs on the site overall. The ordinance does direct us to use the equal or better performance measurement to determine if requests that are being made are reasonable. In this case, it's the staff's opinion that the request meets the intent of the ordinance, and that every effort to move the material to another suitable location on the site has been made, thus meeting the standard of equal or better performance. And it is our opinion that the waiver should be granted. I'm going to share on the screen a copy of the plan so that I know everybody has the packet, but this is more for the benefit of the audience. Let's see here. Share that one. And everybody should be able to see the plans in question. And I know that you have these in your packet as well. But if you have any questions for me, that's fine, or I'll turn it over to Alex Toy, who is with us this evening.
All right, well, good evening to each of you. Wish I had in the view options, there's normally a place where you can mark up. I'm trying to find where the markup's at. It's easier to show it that way.
If you want to just direct me to point, I'll try to do my best on this end. Okay.
What we're asking for, as you know, Pennyburn has been a neighbor and of course definitely a benefit to the community over the last 50 years. And if you would go to the bottom of the screen for me, there you go. What's occurring with the approval of our new building from before is to the bottom left hand, right down where where it says new interior across the left to right is where the fence actually is by the parking lot. And from this location, if you come by the current site, we have our construction fencing up. We're getting ready to, over the next, I think it's 60 to 90 days, begin the construction of this monumental fence all along Penny Road. And that fence will match up the current construction design standards that were already established with the current entrances. That was all the work that's basically been done on High Point property. And we'd like to continue that same type of fencing, but not have it fully shrouded by the trees and or some of the ground shrubbing plantings that were put in place. So we are requesting that the tree plan, that this is the one we're proposing, would be allowed with the variance. We've cited 4 basic reasons for the work. One is that there was originally a 12-foot right-of-way that we actually had to push our building farther back into the tree line based on the last piece of property to help with the right-of-way along Penny Road. The client went ahead and moved the building back and has it lined up that we would not be interfering with that with any of our construction when completed. The second part, when that occurred, as you can see from the two photos on the left-hand side, is that the amount of trees that we had in that particular area, just due to the placement of the construction of the building itself, but also when you get into the final therapy garden spaces that are put in here, we actually end up losing a lot of our major tree elements. And we'd like to come back and reseed or repopulate that area with the trees that we're recommending being removed from the streetscape and being added to the back property on this particular component. We're basically maintaining all the interior trees of the bee planting schedules that were originally approved by the P&Z and the City Council almost 2 years ago. And we'd like to ask for your consideration to give us this particular option and benefit to be able to help with our monumental signage and the cost that we're implementing that, allow us to put more into providing buffers for our residents. Matt, do you happen to have the landscape therapy plan?
Let's see here.
No.
I don't know if I have. Let's see.
Yeah, therapy planning. Yeah, that one. So the trees you see highlighted in green are a lot of those trees you saw in the previous photographs. Those are the existing primary trees that have caliper and size for that. When we put our basically a black wrought iron fence, just enough to provide some natural screening, the client's going to be incorporated in an area that outdoor therapy, so pavement, hardscape, and of course planting and setting areas against that fence area will also be planted. That cost we're not at, that cost or that scope of work is not any part of the request from tonight. But I wanted you to be able to see that there is additional work in landscape and we are putting in there. And we feel that we're able to fill in some of those voids that you kind of see here with trees over the long-term practice will help populate and provide more of a buffer and protection from the residents that live in this from a short-term stay between the current residents and those on campus. Any questions?
I don't have any. Anyone else have any questions?
Personally, I don't.
No.
All right, well, thank you for your consideration.
Is that the lakefront on Pennyburn there behind you?
It is actually, it's Rich Newman's office scenery that he has all the time on his property on the beach. So
Looks very nice.
well, Matt, what is the next step?
I guess we would have a motion, if there is a motion in favor. It doesn't sound like there are a lot of questions. Is there a motion in favor of granting the waiver?
Do I hear a motion? Jay makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. How about all those in favor put their hands up in front of the screen? Are there any questions first before we do that? Any questions? All right, all those in favor put their hand up, voting approval of yes. You
Very
see
good.
those, Katie?
So at this point, I'll work with Alex and they will move forward in implementing the plan as they showed you this evening. So I do appreciate that. I don't think there's actually anything else as far as business on this agenda.
I'm just fascinated. There's a tree board.
So are we.
Now, just to let you know, I'm actually on the job trailer on site. I'm living in Millicent, Maine, and here in the apartment every 2 weeks. We got another guy that switches. So we're both coming back from our location in Kansas City. So definitely enjoying the town in the area and looking forward to continue to bring our project to your community. So thank you.
Fantastic.
We have
Go ahead, Katie.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Our interim town manager is present, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself to you guys.
Hello, my name is Dave Treem, and I'm the interim town manager until we find a replacement, which may be after our budget. And I'm glad to be here and nice to be a part of this very short meeting. Welcome.
He's not used to that here.
Keep all of our meetings short.
As you can see, I'm not a young manager. I have about 40 years of experience, but I really enjoy being in Jamestown, and hope to assist while I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further business we need to bring up?
I will let you know that we are in the process of coming up with a second option for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. We will be working on that over the next couple of months, and we will be probably bringing that to you hopefully in April. So we look forward to maybe seeing you guys in April as well.
Okay. You'll hear of a motion for dismissal.
Bob, before you do, we've got a very important day today. And when Katie and Matt get to be anywhere close to our age, they'll understand. David, you might have an idea. But today is Bob Wilson's birthday. And when you get to be our age, you're very grateful to have another one.
There you go.
Happy birthday,
Well,
Bob.
Happy birthday.
Bob.
Yay.
Happy for you, buddy.
You quit counting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second? Okay, second is Jay. With that, thank you all for joining the meeting, and we'll get together, I guess, maybe in April.